Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Watch Me Work Wednesday with Linda Pearson from Inspired Art Journaling. Welcome to, especially to our new members. And tonight I'm just going to be doing a short play along, and just in my little tiny junkie journal like I always do. And don't forget, all of these videos can be watched and rewatched on Facebook, and also they will be available on my YouTube channel. So always there for you to watch and perhaps have a play later on yourselves. So I hope you are all well, and let's get started. I'm going to be using this beautiful image from, I guess, the Forties. This beautiful girl, and Natalie May stencil. Oops, sorry, can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry, but it's one of those painty stencils, relatively new. And I'll be using a few Dina Wakley paints. The Malachite, mostly being influenced by this picture. The Malachite, a couple of the iridescent ones that Dina has, the Penny and the Ancient, and also the Cocoa from the latest released as well. All right, so let's get started. Just move all this out the way. Okay, so please feel free to comment on the in the chat there, and I will endeavour to answer any questions that you have. And if I don't get to them tonight, I will certainly answer them for you tomorrow. So sorry, I just want to cover that up. I might just grab a bit of tape. I'm working in my junkie journal again tonight. I'm endeavouring to get this junkie journal completed. It's almost done. So excuse me, I just want to take that off a little bit. Probably should have done that before, but anyway, that's all good. So hopefully that will help to get rid of any excess there. All right, so tonight the first thing I will do, also I forgot to mention that I've got this apricot from Dina Wakley as well. I'll just give that a bit of a shake up because I haven't used it for a while, but I am just going to basically cover the whole back of this with this particular colour, and I'm just hoping that it's got the right amount of, right amount of colour there. Hope it's not too yellow. Let me just have a look up. It's a little bit yellow. Just bear with me for a second. I should have tested that before. Might just grab a little bit of carnation and just chuck over the top of that. Whoa, maybe a lot of carnation. And mix the two together, I think. Just to get it's a creamy back colour, the background in the picture, but it's got that little bit of a pinky tone to it. So I think we've kind of got a bit of a mixture of both here, and that is okay. Quite liking that. And I'm just scumbling all over the place. Not too worried about the strokes or anything like that. I'll just move this out the way so I can clean up that mess. Grab a couple more wipes. So I hope everyone is well, and I feel like it's been a while since I've done one of these. The last couple of videos I've done have been a little bit off. It sounded like I was in a tunnel. It was there was some technical thing, and I was trying to work out what it was. The problem was because I had changed my configuration here and how I work, but it turns out to be the little tiny new fan that I bought. that was sort of reverberating and causing me to sound like I was in a tunnel. So I managed to fix that up, so hopefully you can hear me okay tonight. Okay, so I'll just quickly just dry that off a little bit. There's my picture, just to have a look at that. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's probably a little bit more apricot than I would have liked, but that's okay. Okay, that should do for that. I have decided, originally I've cut it out so that I could just stick that down, but it does take up quite a lot of the page. So I am thinking that I will actually cut around her tonight, and just so that you can sort of see more of what's going on here, the treatments that I'm going to be using here. Now, I'm going to use this stencil, this painty stencil. It says Nat 46, so I don't know what the name of it is, but that is the number for it. So actually what I might do is, what did I do with that tape after I threw it somewhere? Where's it gone? I just had it in my, oh, here it is on this side, sorry. I was going to say I just had it in my hand. So I'm just going to just tap that there. I don't normally do this, but I just thought it might just help to keep that in place as I do some little strips across in the different colours. So like I said before, I've got these colours here. There's a couple of iridescent colours in amongst all of this. I will do a little bit of the cocoa too. It's quite a chocolatey colour. If you haven't, I'll just start putting a little bit out here. I'll just move myself over in the camera just so you can see my paint there. So this is the cocoa colour. I'm going to have to clean these out. It's been a while since I've used them. It's a very, very chocolatey brown. So we'll see how we go with that one. That's the cocoa. I love these iridescent ones. She's got a few different ones there. So that's the penny, isn't it? Yep, penny. Now we've got the ancient. The penny I think will look lovely with this. Oh, haven't used that for a while. Separated. I don't use the iridescence much. There we go, that's a bit better. And the malachite. I love this colour. Oops, obviously haven't been using my Dina's lately. I've been doing a lot of Lindy's, etc. Okay, and in our weather they go dry very quickly in our Australian weather. All right, so I'm going to use this painty strip paint. I'll be doing a couple little treatments over the top of it, but I thought I would just start off with these. So I'll dab off, just want to make sure I cover it, and I'm just going to tap it off a little bit. And I'm not worrying about perfection on this either. So as long as there's a little bit of an even keel there. I've actually got out 4 of these sponges so that I can just dip them into the different ones without contaminating Actually I might do that there because it looks like it's a bit lighter. This one's a beautiful colour. It's I guess it's kind of like a cross between rose gold and with a little bit of rusty coppery colour in it. It's a beautiful, beautiful one. Okay, might put that there so I know which one belongs to which. Just make sure that's nicely covered, tap it off a little bit. Now I'll go back into here for this one. They're coming out a lot lighter than I thought they would, which is good. I was a bit worried about the cocoa, but it's coming out nice and subtly. And look, I'm just tapping in a little bit of colour here. I'm not too worried about how perfect it's going to be because we'll be putting other treatments there. I'll put that one there. And this will be my malachite. Put a little bit on here. I love this new range that she's brought out a month or two ago. So you do have to be a little bit careful if you're using different colours on this stencil because there's not a lot of difference in between the different colours. So you may just want to be a bit careful with that. Alright, so I shall go back to the cocoa. Looks like I'm going to run out of cocoa. Just put a tiddly bit there. This is a nice stencil. It's one of those ones that would be just lovely in the background, testing out new colours. I'm making sure I turn my sponge around too because, you know, they do get marks on them, and I just want to make sure that I did this one. So what I'm just going to do it a little bit differently. I'm kind of following the same sequence, but I will change it a little bit. I'll explain that to you. I mean, because I've taped this down, I could go over and give it a second coat if I wanted to, dry it off, but I'm not worried too much about that because I'm going to be putting so much over it. Now, I used the 3 colours up here, but I'm only using 2, and then I'm going back into the malachite only because of the there's an extra colour in there, so extra line, sorry. So I'm doing it this way so that I've got the 3 at the bottom. I want it to kind of look like it's got a pattern on it, but I don't want to be too rigid with the pattern. I'll grab a bit more of that cocoa. And I'm just going to follow, I'm not going to reverse it or anything like that, so I'm just going to follow the same pattern of colours. If you're a little bit more pedantic, you may want to reverse the order so that the pattern makes a bit more sense to you, but I'm not too worried about that because it is a background. This is the background. And very simple techniques tonight. I'm not showing you anything really new, I don't think. It's just different ways of applying things, and it's just giving you an opportunity to watch me work, which is the whole point of the exercise. But sometimes it's nice to get into someone else's head occasionally and just see what they are doing, because quite often it is, you think, oh yes, I do that, that's good. And then this last one, this beautiful rusty sort of colour. beautiful rose gold sort of colour. What is it? This is the penny one. Yeah, I love it. It's probably my favourite in the iridescent colours. She doesn't have a lot of iridescent colours, I don't think, but anyway. So I think I'm kind of happy with that. Look, there's a little bit of gunk on the side there. I'm not worried about that. So I shall just take that off. Oops, leave that there like that. So we've got a little bit of colour in our background there. I'll just put that to the side because I might be able to use that later. Give it a bit of a wipe off, although the paint is probably all dried now, mostly. Do it down the bottom here, just be a little bit gentle because there's a few edgy bits on there. There we go. There. You can see the number on it now. It's NAT 46, NAT 46 from Natalie May if you're interested in it. Okay, alright, so we'll just put that to the side. We'll wash him up better later. Okay, so it's kind of looking quite good now that I've put that colour on, so I'm just going to dry that off a little bit. So over here, excuse me, jumping in front. I just love the way that the pattern on that stencil just gives a nice subtle, although when I look at it in the camera it's quite bright, but I'll just bring that up a little bit just so you can sort of see those colours, because there is a bit of shine on them. The cocoa technically isn't. The cocoa and the malachite is just standard acrylic paint, which does have a little bit of a shimmer, but there's definitely shimmer in the in those other ones, so that looks pretty cool. I'm quite happy with that. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I wanted to add a little bit of washi tape, just something a little bit different, and which is the reason why I've opted to cut the girl out from here. Now I was looking at some washi tapes that I've got. Originally I was going to use a darker colour, and I've got them down beside me here just in case I change. Now I don't know why, but for some reason I'm sort of drawn to this one. Now I can sort of see a bit of pinky purple. I'll just put a bit of this on my hand. I don't know why, but I can see the green, which is, I want to bring out that green. But I can see some purpley colour on here as well. I mean, I could do some purple splatters or something like that. So I'm thinking that I will go with this one here. So that was a bit of a change of plans at the 11th hour. The idea is I've kind of taken to using this washi tape in this fashion. What I'm going to do is tear it up into strips, and actually what I might do before I do that, sorry, I might just so I get a better idea of what I'm doing, I'm going to cut her out. This is just an image that I got from Pinterest. You know, just, you know, I go through these phases. I mean, you probably know if you watch me a lot that I do love faces, and so I'm quite drawn to faces on my searches. Just grab my little smaller scissors when I'm doing more intricate. Oh, what's happened? There we go. Okay, just take that round, come in there later to finish that off. Yeah, so I kind of quite like these Art Nouveau type ladies. Love that period of fashion and architecture. The biggies now. Okay, shan't be too long here, just about finished. Alright, that's that, get rid of that, put that there, yep. Oh gosh, I like her on there already. She looks like, oh, I didn't finish that off. I am a bit fussy when it comes to fussy cutting. Okay, that'll do nicely. So she looks pretty cool there. Alright, put over to the side. Okay, so she's going to be kind of sitting in the middle there, and so the idea is I want some washi tape going down. Okay, so, and they'll be putting a bit of stamping over here too. So a lot of the washi tape will be hidden, but the idea is that I do like the torn effect with washi tape. It can be a bit messy, but anyway. I sometimes like to snip it there because I just want an uneven edge there. Okay, I usually end up with tape all over me. Alright, so I'll start putting that there like that. So I'm just going to be very randomly placing it. So see, that's the straight edge of the tape, and I've got it nice and rough on that side. So I tend to put the straight edges together, even overlap them a little. Oh, didn't want that. Okay, just at uneven amounts. Sometimes I even spread it into 3, just depending on, I just let it rip any which way it does. Okay. So I'm just sort of layering it all over the place. Remembering that a lot of that's going to be sort of covered. You can put whatever design that you like. And again, I always like the cut edge, the ripped edge on the outer. There. Put as little or as much of this as you like. You could be as pedantic as me, and I just like the cut edges, the ripped edges. So I know. So see how, the reason I'm doing that is so that you can see that it's ripped edges up there. And I'm using the All and Create washi tape, so that's usually pretty good. I will rub a bit of matte medium over this as well, just to help secure it a little bit. Hope you can see what I'm doing here. Sorry if my fingers are in the way there for a bit, but again, I'll just put that into there. Just a bit hard to feel what I'm doing because I've got bits of tape stuck all over me. So just keep putting your picture there, and so I'll just bring it over here a little bit more. I love these. So I might go up there. Torn that into 3 because I've got a straight edge there that I want to, oops, cover up a bit. So now it's all wibbly wobbly. Put that there. You don't have to put as much as what I'm, oh dear, as much as what I'm doing here. I just find it hard to know when to stop. You probably could do a couple of different tapes as well. You know, just whatever's in your stash. I mean, you know, if you've got some, I know I've got a nice typewritten one that's got a little bit of this brown on it. It would look superb on this as well. Okay, I'll cut that off later. Put that there, and then we'll just put that back on there and just see what we're doing. Okay, I'll just put a little bit more, just and they're a superb colour to product to actually rip, and I think that will do me beautiful. Yep, good. Take that off there. All right, so that's that. I'll just grab my matte medium, and I'm just going to I'll leave them till later. Okay, I'm just going to, with my finger, just rub over the edges, just so that I know that my washi tape is not going to lift. Look, this is the All and Create brand. I find that I don't generally have a problem with those. But even if you use a cheaper brand, which is okay too, but you probably will need to put some matte medium over the top, particularly on this one, the part down there. Okay, so, and if you're using acrylic paints, it should be fine over the top. Okay, put it away, dry that off. What I might do is grab my little bit of my cocoa, I mean. Should have done that before. I was having trouble coming out before. I should have done that way back then. Just wipe that off. Wipe that off there. Okay. And what I might do is, I've got my arrowhead silicone brush here, so I'm just going to tap into that because I quite like using this just for smushing. I'll call it smushing because I don't know what else to call it. Just for smushing a little bit of paint over what I'm doing here. It's just to, I mean, what I could do, and I might do a little bit of it too, is bring in some of that. I'm just trying to dirty it up a little bit. But without being too much. I mean, you could use a paintbrush. I just like smushing with my silicone tool. A little bit of the apricot out, and I might do the same thing, a bit of apricot. Just helps to lighten that load up a little bit. Because sometimes just the thought of using cocoa, the chocolate brown, just, I don't know, just makes it look a little bit too natural. And it's just, I'm breaking up the paint sections, those strips of paint, a little bit by doing this as well. Okay, so I don't know, you probably can't see that very well. I'll bring it up to camera. So you can see there's a little bit more paint. I probably could do a bit more, but I don't think I will. I am going to put some splatters on in the chocolate brown, in burnt umber actually. Now I don't mind, I'm using the, what is it, the Wmww acrylic inks. Now you can buy these in sets, and they're just a little amount of ink. They're a pretty good ink. I mean, for me, they're not as good as Liquitex inks, okay? But Liquitex inks are very expensive, and whereas you pay $25 for one bottle of Liquitex, you pay $30, I think it is, for, I don't know, 12. But they're great because they're all in different colours. However, for my money, I will never go past Liquitex for black and white, only because I just use black and white all the time. But at least with these, you get a great variety of colours, and it's not too bad. The ink itself is not too bad. So I'm just going to grab a bit of paper. Probably need more ink than that too. And I'm just going to splatter. What do I do with the ink? There it is. They're very tiny little bottles, but they might be just what you need. I mean, you could use the acrylic, I could use the cocoa if I wanted to, but I just like, particularly the Liquitex inks, you get a beautiful sheen to them when they've dried. So they just give you that little bit of extra oomph. And they are big bottles, bigger bottles, and my inks have lasted forever. So even though these are little bottles, they'll still last you a long time, depending, of course, how much you use them. Just that up. Okay, and dry this off. So I should also explain too, like I said, there's no reason why I could not have done my splatters with this cocoa. You just mix it with a lot of water. The only issue with that is that you are interfering with the integrity of the colour of the cocoa, so you're not getting the strength of colour, the more water, and you do need to put lots of water in it, but it might be okay for you. But if you want intensity in colour in your splatters, or whatever you use, that's why I use the inks. And the Liquitex is an artist quality, hence why it has very strong pigment in it, and hence that's why it is so expensive. But like I say, the Wmww just as good if you like the idea of using inks for your splatters and other bits and pieces, and they're permanent, which is another reason why I like to use inks. Alright, so I'll put her there just to sort of see what she is doing. Yep. I don't know, I'm thinking now, I feel like I've got too much colour in behind there, so just going to this is quite often a technique I'll use if I'm wanting to spread paint, but not in a painterly fashion. And that's why I love these silicone tools, for that reason. And I'm using the arrowhead because it's thinner and it's not pushing out as much paint. I'm just trying to lighten up the background a little bit, because I just felt I had too much colour with the washi tape in behind. So I'll just put a little bit of this over various spots. Let me sort of see. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's pushed that washi tape back a little bit, mostly around her head and this side. Not too worried about that side, because this side I want to put some stamping. So that is why I am doing that. So I'll just dry this off a little bit and have a drink of water. Okay, all right, so I think I'm kind of happier with that now. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take that off. Oh, it's gonna fold very well. Okay, let's just do that. Okay, put that in behind there, just so I don't get anything onto there. Just thought it might be easier to work on the one little piece. All right, so my stamp. I was trying to have a look at different stamps that I wanted to use, and I thought I might use this one. So let's just grab a bit of paper, grab a stamp pad. These have all been nicely inked. I just want to sort of see if this is going to be too intense for what I want. Yeah, it's going to be too intense. All right, so I'll go back to my original plan, which was to use my favourite print stamp, which is really not a print. It's not a readable print. And you can't really see what's on it, but sometimes I feel like I can see that it's got Latin. You know, it just looks like it's that kind of a language to me. But it's a South Baptist stamp, so it's letters, but you can't actually see what's there. And so also what I want to do is grab And we'll grab this. Okay, I'm just trying to set myself up here. You're in camera. Let's move that out the way. I just want to make sure that you can see what I am doing. What was I going to do? Oh, the picture. Yeah. All right. So I want to put her there for the moment. Okay. Yeah. I think I will put. The reason I'm only putting this here because I only want the printing to come down on this side here, so I just wanted to make sure that it did only come down halfway. Okay. Alright. And look, I might put a little bit over here on the edges, and a little bit up there. Just a bit of coasting. Alright. Just keeping away from the middle. I cannot help myself. Alright, so just get that out the way there. Move that out the way. Alright, so let's have a look at our girl. Put her there. Oh, where is she? There she is. Just waiting for the camera to catch up. Now I'm just having a look here to see if I've got anything here that I can use. You know how you have those little offcuts of bits, just to see if there's anything here that I could use, just to give her a little bit of, yeah, I probably could use that. Keeping with the kind of the line, I've got one here that's circles, but I think got lines going this way, lines going up that way. I don't think I want to bring in circles. So what I might do is yep, that'll do. Leave that there. Grab a bit of glue. Okay, let's just size up where I'm going. So I'm just going to put some, or a lot of glue. Gosh, didn't mean to put that much. Just going to run this across. I think this is a BRT die cut. It's part of it, BRT die cut. I don't know the name of it. Is it gridded? Could be gridded. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that. But if you go onto BRT, it's actually twice the size of this. This is half of it. Used it on ATCs, I think. So I shall put that about there. Okay, got glue everywhere, but I just want to make sure that it is all down. Use probably way too much glue on that, but that's okay. Let's give it a bit of a dry off. Now I'm going to go back and do, I've got a little bit more, let's see how I go. Just going to put a few more splatters on that, and that will do for that. Alright, dry that off a bit. Beautiful. Now, now you ladies who are Tim Holtz Distress ladies, you may want to get out your distress inks. I am not a distress oxide person. I am using, like, you could use the ground espresso for this. I'm just going to go around the outside of the girl, and I'm just looking for my so I'm just going to dab. You could use Vintage Photo or any of those ones that you have from Tim Holtz. I just want to put a little bit of darkness around the outside here, just to take that white edge off the card. Washi tape stuck on it. Now, something I like to do when I'm doing this distressing sort of thing, I always have, like, you know, you have your shadow on one side. 9 times out of 10, my shadow's on this side. Now, you may even see on here, can you see how dark it is along there? When I'm distressing something like this, there's a little bit already on there, but I always go over here, this side, a little more heavy-handedly, because to me, that is bringing out that shadow. You don't want to cover up a face, but all of these elements that are, these things are on this side, you'll see I've put a little bit more distressing on that side, because that helps to create that shadow, so it just gives it that more 3D effect. Okay, I will put a little bit there because I don't know, it can be a bit hard doing shapes like this. So now I've messed her head up. Okay, so that will do for that. Look, there's probably not a lot more that I would do to this. You know, I think this as a little journal page on its own. I've got a quote here that I've had for a long time. I have a box full of quotes. This is an Andy Warhol quote, and it says that they always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself, which is pretty true. Time does change things, but it's actually you that's changed it, not... There's no particular reason for this quote. It just so happened to be one that sort of popped out at me, and it's nice old vintage typeset, so I thought I would use that. So I'm just chopping it all up because I like to trim it way as close as possible. Where's the other? Oh, here it is. Gosh, I get pedantic with these. Okay. They always say time, because it's quite a big one, so they always say time changes things. Maybe she has to come down a bit. Changes things. Changes things. But you changes things. I'll just push her up a little bit. I don't want to put too much over her. You actually have to change them. I'll put that down. I usually like the last line on her, but I'll probably end up doing it something like that. So that is how it will be. I will just put, I'm just going to put some dots on her because I want to raise her a little bit, but I don't want to raise her too much. So I'll just put 100,000 of these dots on. People will think these things are cheap the way that I throw them around. I know I probably put too much on. That's okay. I just love them because they're just a little tiny layer that doesn't fill out your book too much, your journal book too much. Okay, look, I know, probably too many, but that's okay. Come on. I hope it's getting the top off. Get away. Ah! Things get stuck to your fingers after a while. You're messing around with glues and things. So this is a pretty quick one tonight. So I'll just be sticking this on and gluing on the quote, and that's pretty it. So I mean, it's just simple technique. I think it looks quite effective. It's different colours to what I would normally use. You know, I'm not really the beigey, but you know, obviously it had to reflect the picture that I'm using. Just make sure we got that sitting there nicely. Beautiful. Bit of glue on these fellas. Clean that glue up in a minute. Actually what I'll do is use, I've got some of this line stuff, so I might use that because I want this to be a part of, Right. Sorry, doing that off camera there. Oh, come on. Got bits stuck to me everywhere here. Alright, but you actually, there we go, you actually have to change them yourself. Now, where's my, get that off there, get rid of all this extra glue, that's everywhere. Beautiful. Even though I've done the shadow, I will do a shadow here. Water. You can use your Stabilo for this. I'm using my Inktense, of course, which is my sort of go-to. this kind of thing, creating a bit of shadow, particularly down the bottom here, because I'm trying to anchor her. Which is the reason why I stuck that, oh, should have put some here. Oops, what about you, didn't I? Okay, alright, that is that. Grab my pen to go around. See how I go with this, because the glue might, I think the glue is still a bit wet. So look, if I haven't responded to comments, I will go through and have a look at them and then answer any questions that you may have. Alright. The obligatory border. And I seem to be doing this a bit of late too. It's just a couple of wibbly wobbly lines. Okay, all right, let's just have a look. Close that up so you're not distracted. So, there we go. She looks really pretty. I like that, and it's a nice background for her, a little bit of purpley colour there, and yeah, so I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed that and has given you some inspiration to have a go yourself. And I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to creating with you again very soon. Thanks guys, love you, bye bye.